Hey, welcome back, Grand Adventurers. I'm your host, Mark Guido. Now today, we're going to talk a bit more about camping security and your personal safety while camping, because our perspective might have just changed just a tiny bit after an incident while we were down in Texas last fall hit just a little bit too close to home. So stay tuned. So last year in our episode 105, we shared our perspective on camping security. And it turned out to be a very popular and somewhat controversial episode of Grand Adventure. Now I say controversial because the comments to that episode were rather polarized, either really supporting our position or really disagreeing with it. And that's terrific. We're thrilled that that episode fostered such a spirited and thoughtful debate about camping security. Now, to sum it up, our position at the time was that we really had very little concern for our personal safety while out boondocking in the wild. We couldn't imagine somebody wandering around the wilderness trying to find somebody to do harm to. And we really had very little concern about our personal belongings either, feeling that they were much more at risk in a populated area like a campground. We shared that we used cable locks to secure a few key expensive and easily portable items while we're away from camp, like our generator and our solar panels. We also showed you how we replaced our universally keyed basement door locks with combination cam locks. But other than that, we take few precautions with our belongings either. However, while we were camped down on Padre Island in South Texas last October, there was an incident that caused us to step back for a moment and re-examine our position. It was no small irony. We had no idea that as we were first introducing you to a security camera that we planned on using on our RV and that we installed for while we were traveling through Texas, there would be an incident that would take place just a mile or two down the beach behind us just 2 days later. Now, after we had moved on to other parts of Texas, word got to us that there was a full-time RV couple missing along with their trailer from a boondocking spot on Padre Island, James and Michelle Butler. We also found out when looking back through our video footage from when we stayed at a campground on Padre Island prior to moving to boondocking on the beach, that the Butlers had been camped immediately adjacent to our spot in the campground. Thus, we were already in touch with the Cleburne County Sheriff's Department when the bodies of the Butlers were unearthed from a shallow grave in the sand dunes behind where they were camped. The very next day, authorities released a photo of a suspect driving the Butlers' travel trailer and truck across the U.S. border into Mexico, a man who we instantly recognized as a guy from Utah who had been camping just a couple hundred yards down from us on the beach. The reason we recognized him is we had actually stopped to talk to the guy. Authorities identified the suspect as Adam Curtis Williams, an ex-con who had just gotten out of serving a sentence in Utah State Prison and was on the run from a couple of no-bail warrants in his home state. Only 24 hours later, Williams was arrested along with his companion, Amanda Nover, in Mexico and extradited back to the U.S. to face charges. At the moment, the two face multiple charges, including felony theft and tampering with evidence related to the burial of the Butlers' bodies on the beach. And they're facing trial on those charges coming up this May. Murder charges have yet to be filed in the case. Now, we don't need to tell you that this incident hit a little too close to home, realizing that it could have just as easily been us. So that caused us to sit back and think about our position about camping security. However, when you think about it rationally, rather than emotionally, a few things immediately come to mind. For one thing, this was an aberration. This was an outlier. This was an extremely rare and random event. This could have just as easily happened in a home, in a motel, in a vacation cabin. Our odds of getting hit by lightning or even getting mowed down by a semi on the freeway as we're traveling from camp to camp are far greater. That said, there are reasonable precautions that we can take to improve our odds even further. When we're setting up camp, we take a good look around to make sure that we're aware of any vulnerabilities. We're also much more conscious about using security cameras. Now, one theme that was prevalent throughout the comments in our episode 105 was about arming oneself to protect themselves. Now, we do our best here at Grand Adventure to avoid any topic that can be construed as political in any way. And beyond that, we really don't think that a public forum or a public venue like a YouTube channel is really the place for us to discuss whether or not we choose to arm ourselves. Now, that being said, we believe that a person's decision whether or not to arm themselves is a matter of personal choice. And we fully support any person's right to exercise their Second Amendment rights. Now, naysayers who argued that a camera is not going to prevent any kind of security incident overlook the fact that motion detection in a security camera eliminates the culprit's element of surprise. It also provides notification and video evidence of anything that may be taking place around the RV when the campers are away exploring the area. Now, as far as we're concerned, key features necessary in a security camera to be used in an RV environment are waterproofness, self-contained battery power, wireless network connectivity to provide notifications, and motion detection. Our camera from HiCU that we've been using and first introduced to you in episode 123, linked right up here on the screen, checks all of those boxes. So does this new camera that we just received today from Litmor. While Litmor supplied this camera for our review, we've received no financial compensation whatsoever and made no promises to Litmor. There are some features on this Litmor camera that we really like. One is the sphere-shaped mount that allows you to rotate, tilt the camera in just about any direction. You can use screws that attach this lightweight mount, or for non-invasive mounting, you can use the all-weather 3M adhesive tape that's supplied with the unit. Either way, you simply pop the camera out of its mount for traveling. We also like the built-in motion-activated LED that illuminates the night scene for color night view and also serves as a floodlight. There's also a siren that you can activate in case of an emergency. Now, both cameras run on rechargeable batteries that'll last for weeks or even months at a time between charges, depending on the number of times that motion events are triggered. Now, both record events to a micro SD card in the camera and send clips via cell phone notifications to your smartphone. Both cameras have two-way audio that allows communication through the camera. But nothing is perfect. We wish that Litmor had added a power switch, as the only way to fully turn it off is to remove the batteries. We also wish that they had programmed the unit's color LED to indicate state of charge. But these are minor quibbles. The camera works well. Because we have the HiCU camera already mounted above our trailer's exterior door, we're going to mount the Litmor inside the RV to monitor activity within the RV while we're away from camp out exploring. Now, we can heartily recommend either of these battery-powered cameras for your RV use, and we're going to link to each of them in the Grand Adventure shop on Amazon, which is both down below in the video description and on your screen right now. Also, Litmor has agreed to give away one of their battery cams to one of our lucky viewers. You'll find another one of our contests down below in the video description where you can click on the link and enter for your own chance to win. Here's wishing all of our Grand Adventurers good luck. So in sum, in our opinion, your personal safety while boondocking or camping in an RV is not cause for concern, but there are some simple steps that you can take to improve your own peace of mind. We hope that the information we've presented in this video has been helpful to you. If you like this video, please, it's very important, give us a big thumbs up down below. Also down below, you'll find the comment section where we always love to hear from you after each and every Grand Adventure episode. Now, we would be honored if you share Grand Adventure with your friends, family, and on social media, because we present new outdoor adventure travel videos each and every Wednesday. And if you're not yet a grand adventurer, make sure right now, go smash that little red subscribe button down there in the corner and ring that notification bell. Until next week, please remember, life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you then.